So I'm 4 weeks out from the UKBFF British Championships now. I've literally just come back from doing a Saturday morning boot camp up at Surrey Sports Park where I work, and I was actually quite impressed with myself. I think I'm cardiovascularly a little bit fitter than I sort of give myself credit for, and I actually really enjoyed it, and I haven't done anything like that for a long time. I've sort of just focused on weight training and obviously a little bit of a low intensity cardio when I was prepping for my last contest, and I also did a spin class this week as well. So that's sort of two 45-minute sessions of cardio, and that's kind of the only thing that I'm gonna add in terms of my cardio and in terms of trying to keep my leanness, and actually I really enjoyed both of them. I sort of had this thing in my head about sitting on a bike or going on the cross trainer for sort of half an hour at a time and really hating it, but this type of cardio I really enjoy, and it's got a really good morale, sort of everyone's kind of supporting each other in it. So I'll definitely be sticking with doing a couple of kind of classes every week, and it sort of took me outside my comfort zone a little bit. I'm so used to being at the front of the class teaching, or in the weights area in the gym, that it just shows that there are so many different options out there, and it's good to give everything a little go. In terms of where I am with my sort of weight and stuff, I actually gained a little bit of weight this week, which is sort of ironic as I've added in cardio, but that doesn't bother me whatsoever. I've sort of had a look back why that could be. I've done 3 really heavy leg sessions, 2 in the rack, so squats, lunges, sumo squats, some heavy deads, and 1 outside of the rack just to give the knees a little bit of a rest. So that was leg presses, sort of heavy kickbacks on the cable machines, and so there's, with heavy leg session you get quite a lot of water retention, so some weight could have come from there. I also switched my diet up slightly this week. I'm kind of not eating a huge amount of meat. I'm going more for getting my protein sources from fish and from eggs, and I've increased my eggs massively, and they're quite high in sodium, and so sodium also leads to water retention. So I am sort of feeling a little bit puffier, and I had a massive bowl of oats last night. So that there's loads of reasons why I could be holding a little bit, I think it's about half a kilo up from last week, but I'm still sort of, I want to be between 52 and 53 kilos when I'm stepping on stage, in comparison to the 50 kilos I was last year when I competed. And as I said previously, I've put on about 2 kilos of fat-free mass according to the calipers, so I'm quite happy with that. The diet changes that I've made this week are, I sort of do one day where I do higher carbs and lower fats, keeping my protein about a pound. For every pound I have a gram of protein, around that mark, and so when I have a higher carb day I use things like sweet potatoes, butternut squash, rice, and oats to with alongside obviously a protein source such as eggs or fish, and I have beef and turkey and things like that as well, and lots of veg. And then the next day I do I decrease my carbs slightly and just go for oats, and then my other and I increase my fats, so I'll have lots of sort of fresh or tinned salmon, fresh tuna, mackerel, herring. That's when I have my beef and my iron sources as well, and lots of nuts as well. So I'm just sort of taking my glycogen stores up and sort of back down again, and then continuing with 1 day a week, take my fats really low and my carbs really high, and I increase my calories sort of like 1.75, like almost doubling my calories on that day, just to really refuel my glycogen stores. In terms of my training, like I said, I've done 3 really heavy leg sessions this week. It's the type of training I love. I love trying to put on more weights. I'm still increasing my strength 4 weeks out, which I'm happy about. And then I did a heavy back session, a heavy shoulder session, and I also added in a little bit of abs this week as well. So I did some barbell rollouts into hanging leg raises, because I'm trying to just kind of bring in and tighten up the rectus abdominis, so the central part of the abdominals. I find if I do too many sort of oblique twists and things like that, I become quite thick. And because I do heavy deadlifts and things like that, I'm quite thick as it is, so I want to try and bring in the waist slightly. So it's good to just have a little experiment about. In terms of cardio, I've done the 2 classes. Next week I might pop in 10 minutes post upper body workout. I tend not to like doing cardio straight after a lower body workout because I find it impacts the strength on my next session. So I won't do that, and I tend to push myself as hard as possible in my workout, so I sometimes don't feel that I would benefit from doing cardio straight away as it is. Other than that, I'm sleeping so much better. Always make sure I have a bowl of porridge before I go to bed. You know, the one trouble I suppose I'm having at the moment is because with work every day is slightly different. It's sort of getting the nutrient timings spot on. So sometimes I end up sort of getting home 7-8 o'clock and I realise I've still got quite a lot that I need to eat before I go to bed. So that's something that I'm going to try and improve on next week. I'm off to see my sister today who teaches yoga, so she's going to teach me hopefully sort of like a 10-15 minute routine I can add in to help with sort of decrease stress and relax and things like that. I've also put a little bit of stretching in this week as well, just to try and allow sort of the muscles to keep growing slightly more. I'm still working with the larger protein meals. It just works better for me. So I have three main times of the day where I'm eating my protein, like a sort of breakfast, lunch and dinner, and in between it's the fats and the carbs. But other than that, everything else seems to be going really well. I'm off to see a client compete in the Miami Pro Championships in a couple of weeks, so it'll be good to sort of just get sort of back in touch with the stage and see everyone competing, because they've obviously all worked really hard to get in shape. And I did some posing practice with him, and compared to 4 weeks out at the beginning of the year when I competed, I feel so much more confident, I suppose, in myself, in the package that I'm bringing to the stage. It's going to be fuller and it's going to be curvier, but I'm hoping that's a positive thing in terms of what the judges are looking for. But so far so good, and I'm really enjoying it.